Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I will be making like a mid-sized wall hanging, and here's what I will need. First and foremost, the cords. This is going to be kind of my main color. So this eucalyptus green, you can see it's a 3-ply, and this one is 5mm in size, so 3-ply 5mm cord. And here you have how much of that you will need. And I want to also incorporate this natural color. So this is just the regular single twist, also 5mm in size. I'll see how exactly I'll incorporate it, but we'll get to that later. And then as part of the design, I again want to use these wooden beads that you maybe saw on my modern chandelier that I published 2 weeks ago. So we'll see how I can make these work this time. And I will be putting everything on this birch branch. So I'll see how that works. I haven't used this type of wood yet. You can kind of see that all of the all of the bark is still on it. So I haven't really sanded it down or anything. I'll just see how long it lasts, let's say. So I've cut my first 3 green cords and I'll put all of them on the branch using a regular lark's head knot. One thing you want to do before you start working with the cords is tape the ends like this. Just use some regular duct tape, because if you don't, with the 3-ply cords, you're gonna end up with this. And this is just after I've used the lark's head knot. So even before you put the cords up, just as soon as you cut them, make sure you tape them down so they don't unravel too quickly. So I've prepped all of my cords and I'm ready to start doing my knots. So we will be doing rows of diagonal double half hitches. So like this and so on. So we'll first take this cord on the very right. That will be our travel rope. And then in this direction, we're going to put double half hitches on it. So one loop and then another one. And then just keep going. And now we will add a second row right underneath. So now this one is going to be our travel rope, and we'll just put the double half hitches on this one. Now that we have the first 2 done, we're gonna go the opposite direction. So we will keep this cord as our travel rope and just add the double half hitches in this direction. So here we go with that first row, and just like we did up here, we're gonna make a second row right underneath. So taking the first cord on the left as our travel cord and putting the 5 double half hitches on it. And so I'll just keep going, switching the angles until I have the right length. So I have finished both sides now, and you can see on each side I've done 1, 2, 3 sections going outward and 3 sections going inward. Just make sure that you mirror these 2 sides. So we're always starting with the section going outward. And now it is time to connect these 2. So we want to join these up together. So decide which side you want to go with. It doesn't really matter. So let's say we're going to be using this one as the travel rope, and we're going to do another double half hitch with the first cord from the right section. Like this, making sure it stays nice and tight. And now we're gonna do a couple more rows of double half hitches, but we will first leave off this one cord on the side. So we'll start from here and make 4 double half hitches on it. And now we do the same thing from the other side. So again, this one, but this time we will be putting on 5 because there's this one extra cord right here. And I think I want to do one more row here. So again, leaving off this cord at the very end and putting on 3 double half hitches onto this travel rope. And then we do the other side again. So picking this cord, third one from the left, and putting on 4 double half hitches. So that's this first section done, and we're moving on to the second one. You can see I've already put up the first cord, and I will be doing a design called the Reverse Endless Falls Knot, which I saw from Kathy over at the Great Wonders channel. So I'll put a link in the description below to that. Thank you for the inspiration. So here is how you make that. First, you loosen up the lark's head knot slightly. Then you take your second piece of cord and pull it through. After that, you tighten the knot again. So first, I'm going to take those white cords and cross them behind the green ones to make these 2 loops on each side. And through those loops, I'll pull the green cords, wrapping it behind the white ones. Like this, first loop, and then the second one, same thing again. And then I'm going to pull on the white strings first to tighten it, and then the green ones as well, and kind of keep going back and forth on the white and the green to tighten the knot. And then we can do the same thing again. So crossing the white cords behind the green, and then looping the green ones through those holes. And tighten again. And like this, we are going to continue until we've reached the desired length. So I've got the braid to about 50 centimeters long, so it kind of comes into the middle here. And now I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side over there. So I've got both of these done, and you can already see how I started twisting them, because as I was making the knots, I saw that there was this natural twist to it. So I thought I would just use that, twist them like this, and then down here, I am going to connect them like this. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So I've gotten both sides ready, twisted them in the way I wanted them to be. And then I have a piece of the white cord right here, and we are going to do a gathering knot. Hold it up like so, with a little bit of left here. And then down here, make sure that you leave that loop right here. And I will start wrapping it around all of the cords and making sure that it's tight enough. This is probably enough. And now I will pull the rest of the cord into this loop like this, and then pull at the top here on this piece of the cord. And make sure that it gets really, really tight so that this kind of gets pulled into these cords here. And that's it. So we have finished this section right here, and moving on to the last one, the last layer. You can already see I have added 5 cords with the lark's head knot, and I'll show you the pattern we're gonna do in just a sec. So we're gonna take these 2 middle cords. They're gonna become our travel cords, and we will put 4 double half hitches on those 2. And now we are going to choose one of these 2 cords. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So let's take this one, for example, and we're gonna put, again, another 4 double half hitches on it going this way. So kind of make a second row underneath this one. And now for this other side, we're gonna take this first cord, which we have used in this double row already, and put these 3 cords on it with the double half hitch knot. Now it's probably my favorite time of the process because we're gonna start using these beads. So take the ends of these 2 cords in the middle. And again, this is why it's really important that you put the tape on the ends really tightly so that you will be able to squeeze them through the bead. And now we need to finish the diamond pattern. So because here, at the top here, I started on this side, I'm again going to start with that side here. And now from the other side, we will take this cord and put all 4. So also connecting it to this side, which we have just made. Okay, and now we need to finish the second row again with these 2 cords on the sides, and we will start on this one. So always kind of switching sides as you go. So let's put 4 double half hitches on it here. And yes, here you will have a little bit of a gap, but that's fine. Let's just call it part of the design. And now for the other side. So again, this one is gonna be our travel rope, and we will go 4 of these double half hitches, then this one to connect it to the other side, and then 2 more from here. So we're only going to be left with these 2 cords out here, which we're not going to use right now. So this rope is going to catch all of these 7 cords on it. So what we're doing here is basically like a little version of this diamond pattern. So we're going to take this cord, which was this travel rope, and put these 2 cords on it with the double half hitch again. And here to finish it off, we need to bring these 2 together again. So we're starting on this side. So these 2 cords, double half hitches on here, and then we'll go from this side. So now that we have finished here, we just repeat the entire thing again. So just imagine these 2 cords are the first 2 we started with here. So we'll just do the first bigger diamond with the bead in the middle, and then underneath it, the smaller one again. So I am almost done with this section here. I've done 4 of these bigger diamonds with the beads in them, and I am running out of a few cords, so I'll have to fix that in just a moment. I'll show you how I'm going to do that too, but you don't have to worry if you're following the links in the descriptions. They're already the fixed lengths, which is these ones that I'm using here. So let me show you just a few details of this section. So one thing you might notice is there is a little bit of a swing in here. I do that on purpose so that it's then easier to connect the 2 sections together. And how I make that happen is in here, so on these sections right here, I make sure that this side is just a little bit shorter. These cords, these ones are just a little bit shorter than these cords. So how I do that is I tighten this section of the double half hitches a little bit more than this section. And that kind of naturally makes it swing towards the center. The other detail that you will see is that whenever there are crossings like here or here, it's always going, the top row is always the one that's going towards the center. So just make sure, or I'll make sure to also mimic that on the other side so that there is a mirror image of that. So it's always whenever there is a crossing, it's the cords that are going towards the center that are on top of the other ones. So I have finished the right side as well, and it is time to tackle those cords on the left that I'm running out of. So as I was making the pattern, it became apparent maybe when I was somewhere in here that I'm eventually going to need to add more cords, and I'm going to run out of some of them. But I kept making the pattern to use up the cords I already have, to not, just put them to waste. So I finished the last big diamond pattern that I had, and I specifically picked this place where you have the double rows. You see the double rows up here, but I haven't made them down here yet because that's where I want to hide my additional cords. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So first we do these two double half hitches as normal. That's where I still have plenty of cord left. And then this third one is the one I want to exchange for a longer cord. So we're at the critical spot of the cord we want to exchange. I've already prepared an additional cord right here. So I'm going to take the end of it, put it behind the work, just like this very end, a little bit in there. And I will just pretend that's the cord I want to work with. And I'll make the double half hitch knots with this one, leaving the other cord, the short cord. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'll just leave it behind my work. So be careful not to pull it all the way through, because it doesn't hold to anything, of course, at the top. And like this, ta-da! Here's what you can see, how you can see it from the back. There's this one, and there is the short one that we didn't use. And so why I wanted to do it in this place is because in the back here, there is the double rows, which will make it easier for me to hide this. I'll probably just glue it down like this here, and then eventually cut this one a lot shorter and glue it down as well. And I'll just hide it among all of the other double half hitches here in the pattern. So I've added one extra cord right here on this side as well. And now what we're going to do is we will have to connect the two sections, and we're going to connect it by these two cords. So these two cords will stay our travel ropes, and we will put first 4 double half hitches from each side on them, and then we will connect them together. So I have here successfully connected the two sections with a double half hitch. Now I am going to do 2 more rows underneath it of the double half hitches, always leaving the one cord on the side out. So the next travel rope is going to be this one, and then this one underneath. So here we are. In this last row, I actually left out 2 cords on the very left. So now what I'm going to do is first fix all of these cords that I was adding in there. So I'm going to trim the ones that were too long, and then use my hot glue gun to fix them to the back of the pattern to make sure that they're not visible in here at all. And then once I'm done fixing those cords down there, I will start adding the fringe. So just cutting smaller pieces of the rope. I think I'm gonna mix the green with the white single twist cords and adding them to these outer edges, the very outer cords right here, and also these gaps in the big diamond patterns. So the mesh down here is fixed. All of the fringe is added. It's also trimmed down here into the right shape. And so the last pieces, the last things I'm doing now is I probably want to at least slightly brush out the white cords, the white fringe, and then the green ones, because they're the 3-ply cords, I want to just untwist the 3 strands of the cord and then leave it like that, not brush it out, just untwist it and see what it looks like. Here is the final piece, and I think it looks great. I love the combination of the green and the white. I really like the beads in there, and I also really like that middle part of that twisted snake kind of pattern. I think that looks cool too. I would love to hear if you guys like it too. Let me know down in the comments, and if you want to follow the pattern All of the measurements and lengths are in the description of the video, so go ahead and check it out. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.